What's up, UConn fans? Mediocre Dan here, back with another game preview video. Today, taking a look at the Indiana Hoosiers as the Huskies travel to the Mecca, aka Stores South, Madison Square Garden, to take on Indiana in the 2K Classic. Now, injury news is the headlines for this one. Stephon Castle on the UConn squad is going to be out indefinitely with a knee injury, a big loss for the Huskies. Indiana dealing with significant injury news of their own, though. Xavier Johnson, their senior leader point guard, potentially going to be out with this matchup. It looks like it's trending that direction. Haven't seen it reported by any of their beat writers quite yet, but there are tweets circulating on Twitter that apparently a lower leg injury he suffered in their most recent game against Florida Gulf Coast will have him out for the matchup against the Huskies. The UConn matches up really well with this Indiana team. They do a lot of things well that Indiana does not do well, particularly the three-point line and rebounding. So let's start with the three-point line. Indiana has really struggled to defend it so far this season. They've allowed opponents to take 98 attempts in just 3 games. That's almost 33 attempts per game, and opponents are shooting 37.8% on those 98 attempts. So mid-major squads shooting the ball really well against Indiana. They haven't been happy with their defense. Part of their size, they are the 6th tallest team in college basketball. An interesting nugget there. A fact over from the Ken Palm website, and the tallest squad UConn will face this year. But they've struggled a little bit, maybe with their speed and defending smaller guards shooting the 3-pointers. So that's an area for UConn to potentially exploit. And then Indiana themselves, not a really good 3-point shooting team at this point in the season, just 11 for 40 on the year. That's right, only 40 attempts. They actually have attempted more mid-range jump shots than they have 3-point shots so far this season. That's obviously a good recipe for UConn. Is there a team defensively that likes to try to run the opponents off the 3-point line and force them into mid-range 2-pointers, or to attack the rim and try to beat our trees down low? So that sort of plays really nicely into what UConn's looking to do. And then rebounding the ball, like I said, that's another area where UConn can potentially exploit them. We struggled a little bit giving up offensive boards to Mississippi Valley State, but Indiana is really not a good rebounding team. They are poor on both sides, offensive and defensive. Mike Woodson was not happy with his squad after their most recent game. He said that at 65, he could probably get out there and stumble into a few rebounds. So I'm sure that's been a point of emphasis for them this week at practice, as it has been for the Huskies. But if we're able to clean up the boards, rebound the basketball, and make our 3-pointers like we know we can, it matches up really well for UConn. So today we have Indiana. Tomorrow will be either Texas or Louisville. Hopefully it will be in the championship matchup. But either way, I will see you shortly to break down another game. It's Mediocre Dan, and I'm signing off.